Cool, so we're at the back of the property now here. We can talk a little bit about the two-car garage that we put up. The previous owner had poured the slab. Traditionally, I wouldn't put up a garage quite this big for rental purposes, but because the slab was here, we thought we'd just carry on with what he had proposed, right? The variances were done, the permits were in place. All we had to do was modify the drawings a bit to suit our needs, right? And then make sure that the building functioned the way that we want, and then put it up. So back here, we've got chaos back here is what we have. Basically, the property was unfinished when we took over, right? So when we put up the building, you've got trucks, you've got trailers, you've got all kinds of trades back here to actually make this happen. And in doing so, you get a yard that looks like a muck puddle, especially when you get a freeze thaw like we've been having in this January. So over here, the building itself is 2x6 construction. Concrete slab, 24 by 28. I think just off the top of my head, it's about 650 square feet, somewhere in there. It's probably pretty dark in here to see. We can fire this door open and talk about these as well. These are just a construction grade, builder grade door, tin door. We're thinking about moving forward how the property will be used. Because it's being used for rental purposes, sometimes tenants aren't as gentle as you'd like to think. So putting on expensive insulated doors doesn't make sense in this case. As well, if a tenant happens to drive into the door by mistake, the door will actually collapse before it rips the track off the building. So it's a little bit of a cost savings there when you can replace the door for cheaper than replacing the whole assembly in one piece. So over here, basically we've got 2x6 construction. Joists up in the roof, or sorry, trusses up in the roof. So this wall down the center is actually just a dummy wall. It could come down if we had so chose, and this entire space would be wide open for, in our case, it's for tenants, but it's for a shop or for a printing press or whatever it is you want to put in here for residential purposes. So back here, we've got vinyl siding on the exterior. We've got tin on all the high wear points or on the soffits or anything like that might be traditionally painted. Right now we use aluminum, which is factory coated, so it never fades, never rusts, and it stays nice looking for a long time. All right, this is vinyl siding. It's a K-Cam product. It's Canadian made, which is awesome. Down along the base, you can see that we've got concrete block. You need to have concrete block at the base because 2x4 lumber, or 2x6 lumber in this case, that is spruce, is not allowed to be anywhere near grade. I think you need 6 inches or so. So we went with an 8-inch block to keep it up and away from grade, and then you grade the actual dirt and the sod away from the building to keep the water out from underneath the slab. Over down along the side here, really gives you a good view on the construction and the different layers that goes into putting up a building like this. So down here you've got the actual concrete. The footing goes beneath the grade and it sits on a bed of gravel with rebar inside, right? On top of that we've got the block that we were just talking about. Then on top of that and in behind this siding you've got all your 2x6 construction, bottom plate, top plate, roof trusses, and then siding on the exterior. In behind this siding is, I think in this case it's an OSB strand board. I think it's 5/8. And that's basically the sheathing on the house to keep it from doing this and falling down and going crooked. So that's what your siding gets nailed to. When you do put siding on, you nail it loose. You can hear that, it kind of rattles. You nail it loose so that the siding can expand and contract with the seasons. Otherwise you get puckering over the years and it doesn't look good. Right, same goes for the corners. You nail them nice and loose so that you can actually move the product. That's really important. Right. In between the siding and the OSB strand board is a product called Tyvek or house wrap. Every company makes their own. I think in this case we use Tyvek, but it's a membrane that allows moisture to exit the building but not go in. So it's kind of like a one-way valve. Very similar to vapor barrier in a house, but completely different in technology. Okay, down in the back here you can see that the gutters are sloped towards the rear of the building. We've got one downspout coming out on this side. I think this is about 6 feet from the building. And then on the other side we've taken the downspout, and rather than draining it just with a little stub out beside the foundation, we've actually brought just a crude big O pipe out to this side as well, so that we get all the water away from the building. The idea here isn't necessarily for to keep the water from dripping on you when you go in the building, although that is a byproduct of having trough. You want to keep the water away from the foundation because we are a slab on grade, right? Any moisture underneath during a freeze-thaw cycle will actually push the foundation up and make the building go lopsided. So we don't want to see that. We put a lot of time and effort into making this building look good. We want to keep it looking good for years to come. Get the water away.